And NBA action is still live and in living color, and we're officially about halfway through the 2019-2020 NBA season. The All-Star break is right around the corner. We got about a little more than a month today. A little more than a month. Actually, a month. A month. The 16th will be the game. Today's the 16th, so things are rolling there. But we may finally get the opportunity to see the number one overall pick in this year's, in the 2019 NBA draft, Zion Williamson. Now, the gentleman has not actually hit the court in the NBA season yet. We here in Atlanta were actually treated to a preseason game where Zion and his Pelicans were here taking on Trae Young and the Hawks, and we were able to see a portion of what Zion could possibly be. Then he had surgery. He needed to lose a little weight. And possibly we'll be looking to see his debut take place on January 22nd as the New Orleans Pelicans take on the San Antonio Spurs. Now, Zion has been out there doing warm-ups, getting loose with the team. He's been entertaining the crowd, doing a few dunks here and there, letting people see he's been able to get loose and that he still does have it. What type of impact do you think Zion will be able to have immediately when he comes back? And is it too late for him to kind of put his nod in the Rookie of the Year debate?
Well, the Rookie of the Year is sewn up.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a moment then.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Rookie of the Year is sewn up, boy.
So what type of impact do you feel like?
I think he could, they like 4 games at the play at the 8th spot. So they ain't too far out. And they've been having a lot of injuries, so get everybody healthy. Zion bring that energy. You never know what can happen. Because we got 14 battles, I think it's them, Memphis, San Antonio, and Portland. All fighting, hovering around that 8th spot. So Zion come in, you never know. No minutes restriction. So he come in there, do his thing. You never know, might get 8th spot.
What type of averages do you see Zion putting up? Point wise and rebound wise, what type of impact will he have when he hits the court for the New Orleans Pelicans?
Like 7 and 6.
So wow, those are the figures he's putting up.
I mean,
double digits in neither.
I give you maybe like 7, 8 to 9 rebounds. Cause me personally, I just don't see his game being like
Transitions.
Yeah, like he's gonna get most of those points off of just tip ins or offensive rebounds or something like that. Right, you can't really run nothing through him in a half court set. He doesn't have a real jumper, so I mean, I don't see him creating his own offense either. So, and he gonna be on minutes restriction because he's like 285. He should be.
They're gonna let him roll. Once he get out there, they're gonna let him roll.
I can see him probably averaging between 15 and 16.
15.
Boy, I see people who do less averaging 14 points a game. Who do less.
Yeah, I see double digits for him for sure.
Jared Allen's averaging 14. He ain't doing no but catching lobs.
A lot of them might be putbacks and stuff like that. I'm gonna give him 14.
I give him between
14 and 8.
14 and a half and 9, something around there. Probably
Jared Allen's also 7 foot.
Are we gonna see him in the Rising Stars game? You think he'll get out there in Chicago?
No, they're not putting that boy nothing, no extra,
nothing extra, nothing extra till he get under 2. They should put that in his contract. Nothing extra till you get under 275, son.
All-Star update came out today as well. It's still known Trae Young is looking good here in our backyard in Atlanta. He's still leading as far as guards are concerned.
Be also winning 9 games.
He's looking good. I mean, he's a show out there. He's putting up a show every night.
Jordan, he wins.
LeBron and Giannis are still leading the way. Luka, y'all guy Luka is
exactly. He was on the wins.
It's looking good as far as the All-Star game.
We look right.
We look right.
What y'all look right about?
We were kind of right. We was on the Luka train.
He got a better roster than the Hawks.
Barely.
It's not that much of a bigger roster.
No, it's not.
Outside of Porzingis, it's really the same roster.
It's not at all. It's not at all.
Oh, they got that much faith in Tim Hardaway Jr.?
He's better than 70% of the Hawks.
If it was true, he'd still be here.
No, new regime, new game plan.
Oh, so Seth Curry is that much better than everybody else?
Yeah, Seth Curry, I'll take him over Jeff Teague.
Jeff, he just got here. So
I'm
really
just saying.
Listen, I'll take a lot of people over Jeff Teague, but
we're not gonna do trash my dog. Okay, we're not gonna trash my dog. That's my guy.
We're going to talk about Jeff. But we are going to talk about a young man in Memphis right now. A young man in Memphis who is doing his thing. Rookie, Ja Morant. He's been turning a lot of heads recently. Now, we've been talking about Ja Morant since the NBA draft. He's been someone, of course, he's been on your radar as well. Second overall pick, went to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Somebody need to put him in their front office, boys.
But he's looking like the rookie of the year so far. He has Memphis currently in the 8th spot. So the playoffs were to start today. The Memphis Grizzlies will take on the Los Angeles Lakers.
And they would give them some run too.
They're almost at 500. They're 19-22 right now. And right now on the season, Morant is averaging 18 points and 7 assists. 18 points and 7 assists for the young man.
Almost a double.
But we see what these young guards are doing. Of course, I show a lot of love Trae Young, what he's doing as a young guard. We see in Cleveland, Darius Garland may look good. We see in Oklahoma City.
Shea, 2020.
It's looking
2020 and
2020.
But Ja Morant is shining and putting his name in the hat.
Man, throw Markel in there too, man. Show Markel some love.
Yeah, Markel's looking good. That's facts. But is Morant the next big name, the next big star in the NBA?
Hey, man. I like that young man. I like Ja Morant. When I started seeing that boy in Murray State getting busy, I was like, who is this? Who is this? Young man like, what, 6'1"? If that.
Nah, he taller than 6'1".
They list him at 6'1", 6'1", 6'2". You know, the NBA heights now. But that young man is a problem. Especially the move he did last night on the break, behind the back to myself, driving up Jaren. Jerry comes dunks on House. I was like, yeah, I like this little 1-2 punch right here. Kind of
they got good chemistry too.
Yeah,
reminds me of an athletic Mike Conley and Zebo.
How you feeling about Morant? Is he the next big name in the NBA?
I think so. I think he got the buzz.
He's point. He calls him the point guard.
I think what helped him is Zion being hurt. So I think more people paid attention to him.
I respect that.
They were like, you number one pick, what you gonna do? And he came out and he is trying to yam on everybody.
He don't care who you are, and he gonna talk that. He told me going to James Hall last night.
Now he declined the dunk contest. He had an invitation to.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
And he did decline.
I would do the skills challenge if I was him though.
You should do that.
If I was him, I'd go do the skills challenge just to prove to y'all. Like, I'm really nice with this. Like, I don't just get lays, bro. Like I'm really nice with this. But I think he got the buzz and he got the cachet and the personality too. And I think him and Jaren Jackson, I think they can be like
and Brandon Clark. They got a very nice young team. They got Grayson Allen, who's low key on the radar. He can beat what's buddy from Joe Harris. He could be a Joe Harris. He could be a Joe Harris, and he's a slasher who still got athleticism.
Yeah, even though Kyrie threw Joe Harris under the bus, but yeah.
He definitely did throw him under the bus.
Is it locked and sewn as y'all saying right now?
It's a wrap. It's a dub. It's a wrap.
Look, what did I call it? What did I tell you like last year? It's called Rookie of the Year, not Rookie for a few months. If from start to finish.
None was giving him a run for his money.
I like Kendrick Nunn too. And I'm telling people now, keep an eye on Miami within these next.
If they make a move,
these next 12 to 18 months, Pat Rock gonna do something out here. Mm-hmm. Windhorse said that too, but I've been seeing, Pat.
Yeah, they might get a star. They're looking to add another star.
They got cachet. They got a lot of money. No taxes in Miami.
And you in South Beach.
Too.
It's a good look right there.
I'll come play right now, Pat.
Here in our backyard, there's been a lot of speculation for the Atlanta Hawks as the trade deadline gets closer and closer by each minute and second that goes by about moves that should be made for the Hawks. We're finally getting the opportunity to see the young Hawks get on the court together. For a time, we hadn't seen Kevin Huerter, Trae Young, and John Collins on the court together. They're finally being able to build.
Just like Game 5.
And get a chemistry together. Yeah, it's about Game 4 or 5. They've actually been on the court fully healthy of about 42 already, 41 or 42 games. So we'll as the second portion of the season goes along, we'll be able to see exactly what these Hawks can do. But there was a trade today that took place here in Atlanta. And no, my friends, it was not for Andre Drummond or Steven Adams. As we know, the Hawks have been looking for a new centerpiece. a new big man to help
James
run the floor
be fine
out here. Well, yeah, I believe so as well. That they should just wait and hold off for that. Don't have a lot of money in the off season, but Allen Crabbe, sharpshooter who was brought over to Atlanta during the off season, he's now been traded.
Good flip.
To Minnesota for a gentleman that we know pretty well. We've seen here.
Guy.
Your guy, as you call him, Nacho. Jeff Teague is back here. It was funny, like we used to see Jeff a lot in Cumberland during our Cumberland days, coming to get sneakers for sucker shirts and different things like that. But he'll be back. He'll be back in now State Farm Arena. He was here, of course, when it was Phillips Arena. Played under Coach Bud. He'll be playing under Coach Pierce right now. The Hawks have been looking for a backup point guard for Trey. I thought they pretty much found him in Brandon Goodwin, the gentleman from Norcross. He's been looking, ABL definitely. He's been looking pretty good out there on the court in the minutes that he's been getting. He's a two-way player, but I guess with Jeff, a veteran, a gentleman, I'm not going to say he's familiar with this system because it's a new system, but he is familiar with the city. He's familiar with the philosophies and the culture that go here and that are required to be a member of the Atlanta Hawks. We'll start with you here because you know Jeff Teague very well. For those who don't know, quick background. Brandon's been he was a ball boy with the Hawks since he was about five months old. Okay, so he was out there with the bottle and the bar, rolling them out. So he's seen Dominique, he's seen Kyle Korver, and he's seen the likes of Jeff. So his second step,
Josh Childress,
second go round. What do you think Jeff Teague will be able to contribute here to these new Atlanta Hawks?
He'll bring, like I said, Jeff is not very vocal like that, but he's a vet. And his team needs vets. Besides, Vince Carter can't be the only vet. I mean, yeah, they had Evan Turner. But like I said, Vince Carter can't be the only vet. Okay? Chandler Parsons, Vince Carter can't be the only vet.
Shout out to Chandler, too.
I mean, praise him. I hope he's glad he's okay.
Custom protocols, and shout out to Chandler. Praise up.
But Vince Carter can't be the only vet. Trey needs somebody who could mentor him. Trey, just been an all-star. Because how you slice it, dice it, he was an all-star. So he needs somebody who could, give him a spell because we see how the team looks when he goes off the court. They look terrible. So
he will add that element.
He'll bring stabilities around. He'll score when he needs to, and he can still play make. And Brandon did a phenomenal job for what game was that, Orlando when he went crazy out there when Trey was hurt. But like you said, he's on a two-way contract. So is he gonna be here full time, or is he gonna go down back to College Park? Like we don't know what he's gonna do. But so having Jeff here will bring stability here, and they need that. And also they need to find a way if you're gonna trade Evan, get him up out of here, and bring somebody else in here. Because they need some stability and somebody who play defense because this team can't guard a soul.
I'm glad that they actually brought Jeff Teague over. I think it's a great look for the Hawks. I'm wondering, will he be flipped? Will he be traded again? Do they have plans like that, or will they actually keep him?
If you trade him, just
keep him in the locker room. I mean, you never know. We'll see what beholds, but hopefully we'll get an opportunity to see Jeff soon because the Hawks will be on the road tomorrow in San Antonio. Then they'll be back here on Saturday for a back-to-back because they'll take on the Washington Wizards. And then finally with the Hawks, I got to mention on Monday, it'll be a big look because it's MLK Day. It's celebrated across not only America but celebrated across the NBA. And the Atlanta Hawks are always very involved, of course, what goes on at MLK Day. And on Monday, as they'll be taking on the defending champion Toronto Raptors, inspirational hip-hop artist Lecrae will actually be performing at halftime. So he's a big sports fan, big supporter of Atlanta, originally from the Houston area, but he'll be performing at halftime. So that'll be dope to see. It'll be dope to see exactly what the Hawks do and how they present MLK Day game. In the past we've seen the choir come out and sing.
Every year. I already know I ain't gonna be there. Knows what it looks like.
2:30 starts. So that'll be a good look. But get out there if you get an opportunity and check out Lecrae. Then before we close out the show today, gentlemen, MLB, there's been a lot of news that actually went down there. They're taking a role of Thor right now because they're dropping the hammer down on cats right now. And one of the teams that actually received the hammer was in Houston. So Houston had a big problem that took place because they've been cheating. They've been doing a little cheating out there in Houston, and it appears that they were stealing signs and watching what's going on. Now, our baseball expert Cregg Armstrong, you were letting us know about the story as the story was taking place as it was breaking. So talk to me about the turmoil that we've seen take place. GM fired, coach fired. We've seen Alex Cora, who was involved with the
You
Astros
fired. You fired.
A member actually of the Red Sox. He parted ways with the Red Sox. Carlos Beltran was a player on the Astros at the time. He's recently picked up a job as the manager with the Mets. He's been fired. So talk to me about this whole cheating scandal that's going down in baseball right now.
I mean, here's the thing. People have been stealing signs as long as signs have been given in baseball.
Y'all in college?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We had a whole...
Yeah, that's not a lost argument.
I know it's not a lost.
It was a thing. Like, we look.
So it's supposed to be done with integrity.
Yeah,
right. Like, you know, if you see it, you see it, you know, whatever. But for them to use technology and cameras and everything like that, that's when it started to get a little bit excessive. And so
they were very cocky when asked about it. They were very like,
"Oh yeah,
they get me."
They were listen. They thought they were ghosts or something like from Power. They were just like, I'm untouchable. Like, and so MLB, so basically the MLB said, "I bet, hold my bill." And once they found out, everybody involved got them hands. Basically, like AJ Hinch, the coach of the Astros, was suspended for a year. The GM was suspended for a year, with which after that, Houston pretty much. I mean, because you can't have a manager, you can't not have a manager, so they fired both of them. Alex Cora, who was the bench coach at the time, who is now the manager of the Red Sox.
He was at that time.
Well, yeah, right. Who was the manager of the Red Sox as of last week? Not doing a very good job either. But he pretty much got fired because he was going to be suspended as well. Well, he is suspended. So Red Sox was like,
"We gonna fire you too."
Carlos Beltran, being a player, and the Mets were like, "No, can't have you around here." So now we got a coaching search going on for three teams.
Going on right now for 3 teams.
Astros have to hire a new GM.
Do you think MLB and the commissioner handled it well by the penalties that were handed out?
I think so.
1 year suspension of the GM, 1 year suspension of the manager, $5 million fine.
I think so.
Draft picks.
Just because, they lost their first and second round draft picks for the next 2 years, I believe. I think they handled it well. I mean, it's certain things that you just don't do. Like if you are smart enough as a player, if you standing on second base and you can see, all right, this means he's throwing a fastball. So hey, if I yell out your first name, then it's fastball. If I yell out your last name, it's an off-speed pitch. Cool.
So that's how y'all do it.
Yeah, sometimes we switch it up. You never know. Sometimes we might stand up on second base. Sometimes we may be in a crouch. You never know. I don't know. But crouch. Oh. But when you start using technology, it's the same thing with the Patriots, taping people's practices and stuff like that.
Technology is overboard.
Yeah, you going a little too far. You now the integrity of the game is being.
Can the Astros recover from this?
I think it's not going to be a problem for them for the next 2, 3, 4 years because their team is pretty much set. Their rotation, their stars are all young, so that's not a problem. I think where it's going to be a problem is down the road because you lose your first and second round pick for the next 2 years. That's 4 high impact players that are going somewhere else instead of going to you. And so now you pretty much, your farm system is going to take a hit. And so when your farm system takes a hit, that's when teams start to crumble because you either going to spend the money to get the people or you going to have a farm system to develop it. So if you lose those picks and you losing $5 million as well, that's $5 million less dollars you can spend. Mm-hmm. That's when it starts to affect you. So I think they'll still be in the race for the World Series these next couple of years. You still got Altuve, George Springer, all them. You'll be fine.
Look at them differently. The players, like y'all ain't that nice.
I mean,
the little short dude who was hitting all them balls and all that shit, you're not that nice, man. But you knew
I mean,
and that's a relative New Yorker, right?
Right. I can't say that because I've seen a lot of them. I've seen them do it. You know what I mean? Like George.
This been going on for a minute.
Since what? 2017. Mm-hmm. I've seen George Springer before then. I've seen, and that's not to say they were doing it last year either.
They probably doing it then too.
And the Mets will not pay Carlos Beltran his $3 million.
He shouldn't. They shouldn't. He ain't coach shit. He ain't even making the pitching and catching reporting.
Nowhere near training camp.
All you did was get an office.
Office in the hat and jersey.
I mean, we'll see. The organization might be tainted a little bit because.
I mean, it's gonna be a dark cloud over him.
Yeah, like what's up?
Like, but I won't say I look at the players any different because hell, it's a lot of times you know what's coming, you still got to hit it.
I mean, it's true. It's just true.
No, but the thing is, knowing that it's coming, it's like, all right, I'm not gonna swing at this.
Hey, so I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I can't fuck with this. If he throw the changeup, I can't fuck with it. So I'm not gonna swing. Or now I know how to swing to foul it off and all that type of shit.
Listen, here's the thing.
Those things factor in, but it ain't.
It helps, but you still got to hit that 95-mile-an-hour fastball coming down that pipe. And I'm going to tell you now, that shit ain't easy.
You minimize it, y'all. Them boys is cheap.
It helps. No, like I said, it helps for sure. It definitely helps.
Yankees fans ain't trying to hit none of that.
We definitely not.
Listen,
at
look,
all.
I ain't going to lie to y'all. Y'all still would have lost.
Shut up.
Y'all still would have lost.
Y'all
still would have lost. You should have got some pitching.
The Braves should have not lost 25-2.
Because I guarantee you, if
Don't like you hear me.
What'd you say?
I said, don't talk about we shouldn't got some pitching. Y'all shouldn't have lost either. Scrubs.
I mean, y'all was at home with us, so I mean, hey.
But speaking of the Braves, before we close out, y'all missed out on something very big.
Sure did.
Josh Donaldson, gentleman that y'all were looking to bring back, he wanted $100 million. I was saying over 4 years, has signed a 4-year deal with the Minnesota Twins.
4 years, $84 million.
How you feel about that, player?
Have fun in Minnesota. Like, if they would have gave Josh Donaldson at 34 years old a 4-year, $100 million contract in the National League, I would have been like, bro, what in the blue hell are y'all doing?
Well, yeah, you not go DH and stuff.
Like, yeah, in Minnesota, that's fine because you can go especially with leg injuries in your past, in your recent past. Y'all go have fun. Like I'm cool on that. Like we can go sign somebody else or something. Yeah, like I get it. The production, we're gonna miss the production for sure. But he also, hit under 200 in the playoffs. So I mean, I'm sorry.
Like everybody's hit under 200 in the playoffs.
Not Acuna, Dansby, or Ozzie.
I mean, it was rough in the playoffs for y'all. Who do you want to see? Do you want to see Chris Bryant?
At least we made it. But
who do you want to see? Y'all made it. That's fine. But y'all still.
I do good shit.
Came right on home, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Might as well, because y'all was money. That was money y'all could have said. We're gonna bust y'all ass this upcoming season.
Oh, here you go.
I can't wait. Let's go.
It's gonna be a lot of bets. He still got like a bet. He ain't even paid up on one of them bets. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it's funny being around there somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have to make that bet.
Before we close out, gentlemen, thank you for talking about giving us our baseball insight. I want to just ask something new. What are you gentlemen watching? What you watching in your off time? I've been trying to check out some shows and whatnot. I checked out the movie you told me to check out.
Did you like it?
It was good. It was good. It wasn't as I wanted to see a little more action when you were talking about how he was killing it. Like he was getting it in, but I wanted to see
it's only like 2 or 3 real scenes.
That was good. That was good. I don't know. I'm trying to get my Netflix on. What y'all watching out here?
I need to catch this Aaron Hernandez thing.
I just finished that this afternoon. I just finished
that. It's on my add to list.
Yeah, I watched like the first 10 minutes and I was like, all right, I gotta come back and watch this.
First off, Buddy was tripping, but Ozark, watching that, finishing up season 2 because I know season 3 coming around. The Watchmen, I just started watching that. That's on HBO, yeah.
Give me
one more.
Maybe Judge Dallas.
No, ain't nobody watching that shit.
That's our resident
Heckler.
cat over there.
Heckler, yeah. Resident Heckler. Jesus. The Boys on Amazon Prime. Cat, watch that.
What you checking out over there?
Man, I ain't been home for real, but besides Power, and I'm trying to figure out what they've been trying to do since it came back on. But I guess they're giving a backstory. Everybody's point of view, everybody's backstory, and why they hate ghosts and all this. I guess so. They're gonna drag this out until the last show to find out who really shot Ghost, and then they're gonna, I guess, whatever.
Who cares?
At this point, he's dead, so just tell them killed him.
Is he dead?
Could he not be dead?
He ain't dead.
I don't think he is either.
Ghost
But
ain't dead.
just catch stuff on Netflix and stuff. You know, the residential stuff, ESPN and all that. You know, just catch me. Simple guy.
I checked out the Netflix joint. The Aaron Hernandez. When I finished that, some of the things was surprising, but some of the things kind of like I felt like they were unveiled during the court case. So you kind of you kind of finding out what type of person that he kind of was.
Bro been crazy.
I watched the first season of You, and I liked it, but I didn't like the way it ended. So,
You.
The
On Netflix.
On You, with my man
Crazy
Joe.
dude.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing about that.
Yeah, I ain't really
catch
like how it ended. That wasn't my type of crazy. So I ain't really been able to get into season 2 yet and see what's like. I know it's a season 3 coming out.
I know a lot of people talked about it, so I didn't check.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for.
He was doing some weird shit, but I was still like, I got into it. Now, so let me start watching.
I'm waiting on Stranger Things to come
I
back.
ain't watching. I gotta check that. I gotta check out something new. H, what you watching? You got anything new you watching and checking out over there, H?
No, I just watched. I was starting to watch the Hernandez shit.
Okay. H in the Hernandez bag too. So check that out. Let us know what y'all think about that.
And also, y'all check out this weekend, Bad Boy for Life.
Ooh,
In the
yeah.
theaters and check that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to catch
It's
that.
actually out now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So if you ain't doing nothing, you got work tomorrow because I know that movie probably 2 hours, not 2 hours, 10 hours long.
I mean, listen, like I ain't gonna lie to you. I was surprised that it had good reviews though.
I mean, it's Will Smith and Marty Marr. They
But it's also a black led movie.
They had to go out with a bang.
But hold on, are they going out?
Yeah, 'cause they said they may do another one.
They said if we ask for it, they'll do a fourth one.
If the fans want it, they'll do a fourth.
They're gonna introduce some new ones. They gave us a role and shit. You know?
Hey, they gave Khaled a role.
I can do better than Khaled. Khaled ain't do nothing.
They said Will said Khaled was on set 3 weeks before he was supposed to even be there.
Hilarious.
He would just happen to have a job.
Another one. Make sure you continue to check us out every Thursday. Make sure you check us out on YouTube and on iTunes as well. We're putting up our new season on iTunes as well. Make sure you follow the station, Live Hip Hop Daily. Also follow These Urban Times and check me out at Eldorado 2452.
Chevelle Cruz, ChevelleCruz.
And CEO Triche, that is CeoTriche. And also King's Kicks, ATL KING ATL for all your sneaker news, baby.
Be safe out here this weekend. Do something good for somebody. As we mentioned, it's MLK weekend. Do a good deed. Women, take care of your husbands this weekend. Let them know you love them. Husbands, after you let them know you love them, leave. You know what I'm saying? Go hang with the boys. Do what you got to do.
Hey. Playoff games coming.
We'll see y'all next week. Be great out here.
Peace.